listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. Our goal for this micro-webinar, Behavior-Triggered Email Programs, is to share how marketing automation enables more meaningful relationships with your customers. If you're a savvy marketer, you build a strategy based on the digital behavior of your customers, and you respond with tactics like behavior-triggered email. It makes it personalized and it makes it timely. It also makes your brand stand out in a competitive market, which, as we all know, is an important aspect. So in the next few minutes, we're going to talk about utilizing both the strategy and the tactic of building those relationships with customers. So before we get started, just want to do some quick introductions. My name is Janine. I'm the Marketing Manager for Technology Advisors, Inc. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, we are a business software consulting company out of Chicago, and we help businesses find the software tools that they need to excel at what they do. And our presenter today is the lovely Brenda Ronson. She is the Channel Account Manager at Act-On Marketing Automation, and she's going to take us through this presentation today. Thank you for being with us, Brenda.
Thank you, Janine. I'm so excited to be here and appreciate all our attendees taking time out of their busy day. So let's just talk about behavior-triggered emails and why that's valuable for a marketer today. We like to think of that triggered messages go out automatically when a user takes a specific action or they don't take it. And this action could include watching a video on your website. They might abandon a shopping cart. They might download a white paper or attend a webinar. They might enter a contest. It's a proven way to send the right message at the right time. And when email is both timely and relevant, click-through rates go up, and so do conversions. You're more engaged with your prospect. Even though they're a powerful tool, triggered emails are often underused. Marketing Sherpa research indicates that many companies are using automated response for welcomes and thank yous and transactional emails such as a receipt. So far, so good. However, only 24% of them are using date-activated trigger messages such as birthdays, and just 18% of surveyed companies use them in response to website behaviors. That means there's a high probability that you'll find these kinds of triggered messages are a great way for your email to stand out in a crowded inbox. So what action is someone taking to warrant a triggered email? They're downloading a piece of content, they're filling out a form, they're clicking a certain link, and then how do you track it? Well, you track it through gated content forms. And that, again, is very valuable, as well as form submits are those URL links that you generate. One of the most important pieces of this is to engage with your audience so they self-identify. And that is a process where they're downloading or filling out a form where they see value. So they're going to give you some valuable information. You can create forms that specifically target that type of self-identifying information. What's your title? What geography of the country are you at? What are your likes, dislikes? What do you have for your solutions today? And when you get your audience to self-identify, it helps you create targeted marketing to send people what they want to see. Everybody knows the famous Amazon example. We found these things that we believe you'll like based on what you've purchased before. In turn, your open and click rates increase, and you reduce the possibility of opt-outs entirely because they're not seeing value. We talk a lot about finding digital body language. It's really your messaging sweet spot. So where are my prospects or my customers coming from? Are they coming from my website? Is it social media? What channel? Are they really sourcing or finding information about your brand This helps you identify as a marketer where to spend most of your time and your money in your programs, in your marketing, and your activities as a marketer. This is an example of a triggered message where a known visitor is on your website and maybe downloaded or clicked on some collateral. So first of all, of course, we're doing personalization to make sure that they feel unique, and then also there's a clear call to action. So take a tour of Act-On's marketing automation technology in this website email. So one of the things that we always recommend is make sure that you're having a very good segmentation of your data. Understand those customers by behavior means that you must know some key attributes of those customers, and those segments might be what stage of the buying funnel that they are in, top, middle, or bottom, what level of interest and what their engagement has been, and really the role of the person. We talked about titles, generally tied to that type of title, because of course they're going to have different needs based on their role in the organization. In industry too, this is a big differentiator. If you're in the medical equipment industry, for example, and you're selling in a B2B environment, the industry terms are just different, and it will resonate more with your prospect if you are using the language they use every day. We talked about product and interest, that's tracked behavior. Are they going to your pricing page? And then geography, where are they coming from? Is there a time zone? Are we seeing a market where you might not have competition? That's just a really good place for you to target additional messages and start seeing those trends that are so important in terms of marketing investment. So some of the comments that we have is, many marketers judge their email success on open rates. That's pretty much old school mentality. If you're measuring effectiveness, you want to focus more on the actual click-through rate. A prospect may have opened the email out of curiosity, read it, and walked away. But if they've also clicked, that's telling you that what you said engaged them and they had curiosity and interest on your content, and that is much more powerful. And if we look at interaction versus non-interaction, there may be a segment of people who just haven't opened, clicked, or otherwise engaged with any of your emails. Pay attention to the non-interactions just as much as you do to the interactions. Just as behavior is important to determine next steps, so is the lack of that type of behavior. Once you know who's actually engaging, you can create automatic programs that track that. For example, maybe you segment out all of the people who haven't been engaging and try a different tactic or a different topic to reach out to those individuals. One of the things that we hear from marketers is, well, how do I know if I'm successful at my program and my behavior-triggered emails? Well, reporting is a key part of this, and one of the things that we look at is benchmark on others. It's somewhat subjective. There's a link here provided from Smart Insights where they compare global open and click-through rates from 2016 by industry. For example, in the software industry, like technology advisors, the average click-through rate is about 2.4%. So that can be a benchmark for your programs to see if they are being effective. This is, of course, a look at Act-On, and it really is looking at the reporting level of the data and tells you the success of some of your automated programs. You can see on this graphic how many people clicked on your message and what the percentage was, and then if you click that data, it will show you details like the person's name, which link they clicked, how many times they clicked it, etc. This is powerful information, again, to craft future campaigns and to make sure that your messaging is resonating with your audience. And then so the next step is always what worked and what didn't work, and how do we assess what future programs look like. And this is all about that reviewing the interaction and the non-interaction that we talked about before. And if we continue to monitor these behaviors and segment the audience based on those behaviors, you'll be able to sharpen your focus. And more you'll be able to send messages that are about the things that people really want to see. So it's a dynamic process that we do over and over again to ensure that our audience is really engaged and that certain messages are landing extremely well. So that's, it's just certainly a strategy and a tactic that we've seen great success with. But I'd like to open it up just for a few questions here on this microwebinar to make sure we're answering everyone's questions. Deneen, do we have anybody in the question queue?
Yes, actually, we have 2 questions right now. The first question is asking, what other strategies and tactics do you recommend to boost engagement?
Yeah, so we're at Act-On, we're fans, of course, of A/B testing. It's really a great step toward better engagement. It is better reputation and better inbox placement that comes as a result of A/B testing. For example, if you send Group A an email, you'd normally send with a high number of images in that attachment, but we'll also send Group B a similar email, but cut the number of images by a third. If click rates are better on one group, you'll know why. Modern day email A/B testing has been made easier by marketing automation.
Excellent. And how do you get started with a behavior-triggered email campaign if, let's say, you don't have a marketing solution?
Well, there's basically 2 ways. I always tell marketers that our partners like technology advisors have, and they do a lot of consulting about marketing strategy. So what kind of see from your solution? So if you're just evaluating marketing automation or CRM, technology advisors is in a great spot to help you. The other thing is you can always find a lot of relevant topics on getting started with marketing automation at our website, acton.com/resources. We regularly update our website and our library with the latest thinking on new trends affecting marketing and what matters most to business and marketing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brenda. It looks like those are the only questions right now. If anyone has any further questions, there's still time to ask. In the meantime, I just want to reiterate what Brenda was saying. If you need help with your marketing, if you want to get started with marketing automation, if you're curious about different aspects, different routes you can take to improve your marketing, I encourage you to reach out to either Brenda or myself. And I think we actually have a slide here that will just show you our information one more time. Those are our email addresses. You can reach out to either of us, and we'd be happy to help you in any way that we can.
Thanks, Deneen.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for attending, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.